Good evening, this is GM Viral and welcome to yet another broadcast straight from our test server. This is on behalf of CABAL Online Europe. And in tonight's broadcast we are going to take a bit of a look at not the new skills, that's only coming in the next update, but we'll be taking a closer look at some of the effects that come with the skills. Now these are brand new. So most of you have probably been following some of the notes and stuff as they have become public knowledge. But just to give you an idea of what's coming, we will be looking at the following 6 effects. The first one is called domination or suppression. The second one is immobility. The third one is silence. The fourth one is immune to status changes. Fifth is complete evasion, and the last one is reflect damage. Now, all these skills, not every class have access to all of them, and these skills, in my opinion, they're going to have quite a dramatic change on the way that PvP is played. Not that much effect on normal PvE, normal dungeons, but especially in terms of the PvP environment and very especially inside the new battleground. This is going to change how you play, because you're going to have to compensate for various abilities now and be aware of them and make use of what you can and cannot do. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first is called domination and or suppression. We still have to get the final version of that, so I'll see which way ESTsoft decides. The patch note says domination, the in-game says suppression. But what does this do? Essentially, when you're hit by this, you cannot move and you cannot use skills. You are shut down for a couple of seconds. Not much, but in a PvP that couple of seconds can be the difference between standing there and losing rather badly. So the other thing is that the only class so far that actually has access to this domination is the Force Shielder. First in the Shield Storm skill, comes with a Battle Mode 2, and secondly in Shield Charge. Now Shield Charge, I just have to mention this yet again because for some people this is probably not that clear yet. Many of the skills with the new effects, especially the more potent ones, they have a very long cooldown. We're talking 3 minutes here. And they also cost SP to cast. So, for example, on this blader I have the skill Assault that was causing GM Reeves so much problems during our PvP show last time. And I'm holding this over the skill now. You can see the normal stats, add attack, accuracy is a new one as well, and there on the 4th line is the big one, silence 80%, which lasts for 6 seconds. And below that you can see the range, the area, and then SP use 300 and cooldown time 180 seconds. So most of these special skills of this now, and basically they have taken old skills and added new effects to them. Okay, so now, if you excuse me, I'll just have to type this out. And I shall take this as a victim, Force Shielder 227. Okay, we're going to just show this. Essentially, we're not really going to PvP now. I just want to show you the effects in case of the inevitable, oh, you can't PvP. That will pretty much come up, I'm sure. Always happens. So, and also to do this more effectively and to cycle through them a bit quicker, we're going to do this outside. We're not going to be doing this in the new battleground. Okay. So, PvP started, and I hope this skill actually hits. There you can see, suppression. I cannot move, I cannot do anything. Only lasts for a short period of time, but for that period of time I am fairly helpless. Now that's also on a 3-minute cooldown for him. If it misses, he's out. Someone just asked on the chat, what is the point of the assault skill change? Well, the point is to bring in silence, and the point is to shake up the PvP a bit, make it a bit more challenging, make it a bit more interesting. I'm not sure if you can tell this, but I'm really excited about these changes coming up. This is really going to make dramatic changes to the way that PvP is done. I'll just use here now, if I use the assault skill, he is silenced, he can't do anything for 6 seconds. He can run around, but he cannot cast skills. And from here on it's just normal PvP. I'll get to some of the other effects a bit later on. So the point of the assault change, yeah, is just to bring in these new effects, and they're really, really powerful. To shut down the opposing player for 6 seconds. That's a really, really hot. That's a mean thing to do, and it's really evil. I think it's just going to stand there, and what's it going to do for 6 seconds? Run away from you? Well, good luck with that. Not always the best strategy. My title? Yeah. Isn't it OP for... Someone is asking if this new skill isn't overpowered for the mission war. I would say not. Remember, we're still, look at that, it's still in cooldown, it's 3 minutes, it's 180 seconds. You can cast that skill once, and assault hits how many targets? It's a single hit skill, you hit one target. Another question, will this work in combo? Will shut down? Yes, if I hit him while he's in combo, his combo is broken. He cannot cast skills anymore. So this skill is a combo breaker. Domination does the same. The immobility skills, if you freeze someone in place, same if they're out of range. Let's see, we might as well end this. I'm not going to show the... Yeah, PvP over. So, someone has actually now come up with the absolute worst case scenario here. And what if you annoyed a group of players? What if you really pissed off 7 of them in a party, and they're all standing there waiting for you, and they cast them one by one on you? My friend, if you've done that, if you've got 6 people that annoyed at you, then you have worse things to worry about than 6 seconds of being silenced. Now another quite a neat effect. Oh, let's see. I'll show you this. Now this is, the blader has this intuition. I've mentioned this in the previous streams. It's been upgraded slightly. Okay, who is the victim? Now, blader. Right, blader versus blader. Okay, by the way, again, these are normal-ish characters. Not quite normal, but not completely overpowered. I won't get very far at all in the new dungeon with these. Okay, seems I have to request the PvP. Now the evasion skill. Okay. Okay, let's see if he's going to come for this. Yes, the wizard I will do. Yeah, he's in combo now, and you can see by the speed he's attacking. Absolutely nothing. Misses. Miss again. Yeah, broken, and now it's gone. So that's 12 seconds of complete and utter immunity, complete evasion. This is also very, very powerful, but these are about the only tricks that the blader really gets. I'm going to cycle through different characters. I will show you the effects of the different characters. I don't have them all prepared on my account, so I will have to show you and talk about the skills as they come up. Does the evasion effect on boss debuffs? Debuffs? I don't think so. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. The second class now. Let's talk about that silence effect while it's here. Yeah, I can show you this now in combo. So that's the final proof that you maybe need it, if you didn't believe me. While evasion is up. Okay, there's silence as well. Silence is on 3 skills. It's on the assault skill of the blader, it's on the energy field of the wizard, and then quite interestingly, the force blader. Now the force blader has some rather cool changes with this update. Yeah, maybe I should just mention that briefly. The force blader essentially can't cast all 3 buffs at the same, all 3 blade buffs at the same time anymore. Fire blade, ice blade, lightning blade. Now you have to pick one of the 3, and each one of them does something different. For example, your flame will give defense down, your ice blade will give attack down, lightning blade has a chance to cast silence. The stats and everything will be released once we put out the full patch notes. Yeah, enough of that. So let's go from silence, the immobility, immobile, locking down the opponent. That is on the Lance Drive from the Warrior Battle Mode 2, so that skill might actually have a use now. I know not many people have been using it, if anyone at all. And the other character that gets that is the Force Archer with Explosion Shot. Well, that gives you a 5 seconds of immobility. Let's see if we actually... I don't see any Force Archer. See if someone actually comes up with that. We have enough characters, someone should relog for it. Okay, let's see. Hope his skills are ready to show this, or her skills. So this is just a controlling effect, crowd control. If I get hit by explosion shot and it hits me, I will not be able to move. See if the Force Archer is actually following the guild chat. That would be very useful at this point. Okay, well, while we wait for the Force Archer to actually wake up and show the skill, I can continue with the going down the list of them. We've had Domination Suppression, Immobility that I'm trying to demonstrate now, but failing. Silence I've shown. Immune to status changes. Now this one is limited to the warrior only. And there goes the Force Archer for no apparent reason. Okay, moving on. Immune to status changes. Now this means that no effects, no negative effects will be applied to you. No movement impairing, no nothing. This has been added to the instant immunity skill that has now been limited to the warrior only. So for the warrior will be the only class that for 18 seconds can stand there and no debuffs will take an effect on it. So that is, while it doesn't have that many of the new offensive abilities, it only has that immobility, and that's only while in battle mode 2. The fact that it has 18 seconds of immunity while no one else does, that is pretty powerful. Okay, the Force Archer has come back, and I hope... No, this is a different one. Wait. Okay, let's try this again. See if I can actually show this off. Yeah, the stream tonight is going to be, like I said earlier when I announced it, it's going to be a lot of me talking about stuff and answering questions. Let's see. Okay, 217 is stepping up to the challenge. Now let's see. Let's hope it hits. That's it. Damaged route, you can see the message. There I can move again. It's not perfect, but it does have a couple of seconds at the start where I cannot do anything, so another lockdown. Well, I can use skills, but for a Force Archer, Blader versus Force Archer, I don't think cannons from the Blader is going to do very much. And Force Kick won't work because that's a movement thing. A question: is there a way to evade the new debuffs? Yes, there is. Roll a warrior. Or hope they miss. If they can miss, the debuffs stacked on the offensive skills. If the skill misses, the effect is not applied. So you can do it, but if you want to be sure, if you want to have at least 18 seconds on quite a big cooldown, go with the warrior class. Okay, the fifth one of the new effects, complete evasion. This is evading all attacks that I've shown. That is only for the Blader, which does fit with the idea of the class built on dodge rather than on tanking damage. And then the last one, reflect damage. Now this one is once again limited to Force Archer only. Or Force, my bad, sorry. Force Shielder only. Reflect damage, Force Shielder. So let's bring out... Now this one, basically this works almost on a very similar principle as the Force Shielder's Battle Mode 2 ability, where damage gets reflected back. Question: can I show Mithril plus 15 stats? You can see that on the live server. I know there's been a slight change to them, but not enough to actually justify. Okay, let's see. Reflect damage, the last of the new abilities. After this is done, I think I shall move on to the buffs that some of the classes get. Okay, wait for him to cast that. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't help if I miss. Yeah, and there you can see some of the damage comes back to me. Not that much, but getting hit for 1,000 without him actually using any skills. Yeah, that is actually quite a nice little boost. And you have to be careful if he has that ability on himself. Know that every skill you use on him, but you can also see now that the multi-hit skill, the lightning slash, only the reflected damage came back in one hit, not for every hit, but for every skill. Someone wants to see the movement impairing effect on the Art of Force. Yeah, that's going to be a bit hard to show from my viewpoint. Okay, so we've moved through now that I've done this and gone through it. We have moved through the 6 new stats that you get with skills. Now there's other stats as well: the damage reduction, accuracy, and piercing. Those 3 are a bit different because you can get them on items. Your character class will have them. Some skills have them added. You can get some bosses might even have debuffs for those. Next up, just a quick word on. Let's talk about the new buffs. First up, I believe, will be the wizard. Okay, I don't think I'll show it. I'll just tell you about it. The magic control, that is the new magic attack buff for wizards. Now that one at level 20 will get you 88 increased magic attack. I know the wizards have been asking for something like this for a while, and finally you have it. Then the wizards, they also get a second buff, the Spirit Shield. That's essentially very, very similar to the Force Shielder's Shadow Shield. This means that over 12 seconds or for 3000 damage, whichever one comes first, you have the shield on you. So basically like a single target, not non-party Shadow Shield skill. Force Archers get quite a nice one. They actually get, it's almost like Intuition used to be on a Blader. Now that we have Evasion, the Force Archer gets a skill called Quick Move. This on level 20 boosts the evasion by 4000 if I had the notes correct, which means that hitting the Force Archer while this is active is going to be rather hard. I do believe that combo can still take it. Okay, and then for all the Force Bladers out there, this class is going to become very, very interesting to play. Oh, someone brought out a warrior. Maybe I can show that effect, the immobility on there as well. Regardless, force archers, you get the astral enchant. This is essentially a passive skill, always there, and this one works very much exactly like what the astral weapons do for archers and for shielders. Depending on the grade of crystal or orb that you have equipped, you will get an passive skill stat increase. For example, I think the Archeridium one comes up with, if you have Archeridium equipped as a orb as a secondary weapon, you will have 100 attack, 17 crit damage, and 15 critical rate applied as a passive buff. Which I'm pretty sure none of you will actually object to. That, interestingly enough, the only values that go up and down is the attack and the critical damage. The 15 rate seems to be passive standard all the time, as a base almost, as soon as you have the skill. Interesting question here. Will the def rate and attack rate new formulas have a better impact than what is now and what is currently on the live server? Will there be a better difference between classes with higher def rate and classes with higher defense? I believe so, but that's my opinion, of course, from what I've seen just from playing around with them. And so that will be up to you to test. No, there is no maintenance for tomorrow, but I can tell you we have a pretty big maintenance planned for next week, Wednesday, and we're starting fairly early with that one as well. Let's see. Last time you saw me do the PvP with using full skills and being annoying by using intuition and the silence effect, that was in the new area. Art of Chaos debuff. No, I think you're meaning Art of Curse. Art of Curse. And the Art of Curse, well, this one also brings, this is essentially a debuff for the Force Blader, and this will remove some rate, or some resist, sorry, from the target. The standard for it is essentially 50% resist down, knockback, resist stun. So you will lose 50% to all of those, making you much more likely to be knocked down, backed, or stunned. And then, the fun thing about this is that there's a random variable depending on the type of blade enchant that you have. The type of blade enchant that you have active. For example, if you have the flame blade active, then your Art of Curse will take defense down by minus 20%. The Ice Blade will remove 300 attack, and Lightning Blade will have a chance to have silence for 4 seconds. So as I see this playing out, in my personal opinion, that the Flame Blade will probably be the best one for any PvE type. While for PvP, as you've seen last time as well, silence is rather effective, which will make Lightning Blade the choice for the moment for any PvP situation. What else shall we do? This was mostly more telling than showing. Select a Force Shielder and show some stuff with him. A heal plus the new buff. Well, let's see. The new buff has been shown in PvP. I talked about it. That was the one previously where reflect damage happened. And the healing, well, healing is healing. It's not particularly exciting. And you'll have more than enough time to have fun with that once that hits the live server. Okay, now is your time. Any other questions while we're here? We can run some more PvPs if you wish, but I will just be accused of having no PvP skill, as happened last time. What is this costume on the wizard behind me? Well, it's not really... let's see, are we talking about... well, that would be just the normal Archeridium. I don't see any particular costume on there. Unless you mean this very interesting crystal Oh, this staff that's being shown. Yeah, see? Now there we go, that's the Archeridium staff. Just ignore that previous one, that one will come in the future. I'm sure some of you have the name for it already, but I'm not going to release too much information just yet. But you can look forward to having that at some point here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, the new FS shield. Another question, what about the new FS shield deflect damage? If you use it inside TG inside a wave of enemies and all enemies are hitting you, as I understand the skill to work, if you hit the guy you get damage. So it's damage returned to you. Oh, I see my QAT has once again come to the rescue here with the name of the new weapon skin. Thank you guys, I'll have a word with you later. Some warrior details. What warrior details would you like to have? The warrior has immunity, it has and that can cost immobility, and it's still a very strong class. And that's as much details as you need at this point, I think, unless you have something more specific you want to know. They still have a really big sword, and they're still big and slow. What else do you need? And I think I just insulted about a third of the Cabal population there. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, that brings us up to half an hour. So time for, say, 2 more questions if something good comes up in the stream, in the chat on Twitch. Let's see what to answer. Oh, someone's asking if the cooldown set to a single time. Yeah, that is actually quite fun. Oh, I never leveled these up, so we can do that now. So you can see the cooldown. The cooldown time is 6.5 seconds on level 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way up to 20. That cooldown stays the same. So yes, theoretically you can actually set all your skills to level 20, but now you have to think you don't have that many skill points, so you're going to have to decide which skills you want on the highest level. Yes, and when you log in, I saw a question on the forum earlier. There was your skills, all of these that you see in this window, all of them will be set to level 1. Your stat points, on the other hand, as far as I know, they will stay what they were, as they are currently. Even though that might change, but at the moment I will go out and say that your stats, strength, int and dex will not change. What is fascination of the force shielder heal? Nah, that one we'll leave for later. We do have to do at least one more stream before the update goes up on the live servers. Well, I think that is everything I wanted. Another last question. Last question, and then we end this. The function to select monsters with the Z key and or mouse wheel button will be deleted in Rising Force. Is this true? As a matter of fact, yes, this is true. I know this is a change that some of you will be very unhappy about. I'm thinking especially about the people who have been retargeting with the easy mode. I can hear the crying already. Guys and girls, if you want to retarget, you're going to have to learn to do it the old-fashioned way. So, let's see, this is a change that will probably separate the skilled from the not so skilled. Okay, they've decided as a farewell to show off on the new PW5. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, you have the QAT trying to arrange themselves. They will not win any prizes for coordinated driving. So I think that is pretty much it for this broadcast. Guys and girls, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your evenings, and I hope everybody learned something from this.